these are tough times for everybody, and this is Chicky who's come in to say hello. I tell you, I have two dogs, and they are very intrigued that I look into nowhere and I talk to no one for hours, in all the webinars that I have been doing. So timely they come to check on my mental health, that is she okay, she's talking to nobody and she's very excited about it. So anyways, coming back to the topic, these are tough times, and we used to hear stories from our grandparents about the war and how they suffered and the inhuman conditions, and for some of us it was pretty unimaginable. And this pandemic, this economic crisis and lockdown has brought us that experience of a lifetime, and I hope it will only be once in a lifetime. And it's very unfortunate because I think unnecessarily and undeservingly a lot of us have suffered, and if you have been at that end of the spectrum, don't lose hope. See, when we lose hope, then everything is lost. Then there is no bright future. There will be a future, perhaps similar to what is now, or maybe worse than the past. Okay. Now, and here is my message for everybody who feel let down, who feel that this was an unfair twist of destiny. Let me tell you that tough times can make us bitter, or they can make us stronger. We all are going to talk about this time for the rest of our lives. These are going to be talk points. But what's going to be my story? Is it going to be of despair, that people get irritated listening to me, or will it be of hope? Will it be of productivity? And that is where my character is formed. See, in comfortable scenarios, new things are never discovered. You want to find out who you are, you put yourself in a challenge, because in that overcoming you have grown. So how does one handle it when you have been laid off your job, when you have nowhere to go, when the source of income is cut? Yes, make a good resume. Now update the resume, okay, and start applying. But chances are very high that if your industry is hurting, that you have been let go, then it may be a little difficult to bounce back. But I will tell you that whatever date that you have been let go, until the date that you actually find another job, what you did in the interim now will count the most. You may have seen resumes and CVs where there's a 1 year blank and 2 year blank. This blank period of this pandemic should not go blank in your life. There is something you can do. And let me tell you, you were hired by your organization because you were a problem solver. Yes, you had talent and you have skills. Not had talent, you have talent and you have skills, but you're solving a problem of the organization and department. That's why you're there. Okay, so don't forget, skill and talent being a constant. If it's not solving anybody's problem, you don't have a job. And therefore, the art of problem solving should become primary as a part of your personality. And this pandemic is allowing the opportunity to hone it, solve the problem. I have a friend who let go of his employee, and then he found out that the employee who was a lead designer was now doing deliveries on Swiggy and Zomato. And he called him and he said, "I'm very sorry to put you through this." And the guy says, "No, sir, I have to help my family. I have 2 children. I cannot be off income." And my friend promised him that, "Look, we are suffering, and once you come back, once things get back, I will take care of you. I will hire you back." It's sad, yeah. But look, so much respect for the guy that although he has a very big position, but in times of crisis, he is willing to go to any lengths to make things work, and that is problem solving. When the ship is sinking, there is no captain. The captain is pretty useless. The ship is sinking. There's a hole in the ship. He has to leave his position. He has to leave his pedestal. He has to get down on the deck and help in getting the water out. So it's okay to roll up your sleeves and to make things work. This will end. This tough time will end. Everything comes to an end. That's the beauty and saving grace of times such as this, that while good times come to an end, even these tough times are going to come to an end. But what did I do? How did I make things work? That is going to add feathers in my personality. Like I said, it's not being distracted. Find avenues where you can contribute, where you can be a solution. There are problems, people are suffering. Do you not have skills in you that could help somebody? Sure, it's not your profile at the minute, but you can show up. You can do something. Why? Because you're a problem solver. And why? Because you have the time to help. And that for me is a person I want to work with for the rest of my life, because I know that this person will show up in a problem. Yeah, even if it is not going to be an exchange for you, go do some charity, go do some service, go help some people, go teach on your area of expertise. And look, as it is, if the money is not coming, don't be hung up on it, but contribute. Because when you do make your CV that Feb you were let go, and in this time you taught 6 courses, you had so many NGOs, you went out and did this, you went out and donated blood, and you read like 30 books and so on. I, as an employer who have been through that same situation, value you more than what you did in the past 15 years. It is this time, if you can showcase what you have done despite losing your job, that is what will make you stand out while things get back to normal. Because a person who can sail it through this time is a person who can sail it through forever. And in crisis, if you can find in you greatness and grace, I think it's setting you up as an amazing human being forever. What does it take for you to call your ex-employer and ask them, do you need any help? Because you see, until now, you were serving them, they were serving you. It was a fair exchange. But it brings people together. Purpose heals. Purpose is primary. And if you can just make that one call and say, I know I'm not working here, but I know you are facing a challenge, that's why you let me go. Is there something that I can do to help? Or just ask for the well-being. That gesture goes high in books of humanity. That is beyond service. Don't let your existence, don't let your contribution in the company end when there is crisis. Sure, they had to let you go, but that does not stop you. That does not hold you back from wishing well for them. And at the same time, improve your personality. These are the 2 months that you were really wishing for. Some of you had said, I wish I had 2 months off. Oh, you have plenty of months off. And although this will come to an end, can you add some feathers in your cap? Can you study? Can you do some courses? Can you keep yourself productively involved, contributing in other people's lives? And also know that people around you are watching. And the greatest respect is earned in your art of problem solving. And this is the greatest problem of humanity, where your response will also be compared to somebody else's response. Can you show up as a hero? And all of that is in the mind. I tell you, money will come and money will go. Ask people who've lost it all. Ask people who don't have a home. Ask people who had to leave the city, walk on foot and travel like 500 kilometers to get where they had to go. So nobody's to judge who's suffering more. But I want to judge on the point of who's contributing the most. And if you can do that today, you are set as an asset for the rest of your life. That tomorrow when a problem does show up, a crisis does show up, you will be called. You will not be let go. Even if you're not there, you will be the person they will make that phone call to. Can you take yourself to this level? This crisis can be the biggest teacher. This crisis can be the biggest personality development tool. But how to take it and how to make it depends on how I want to steer my life, and whether I'm a believer in the law of the universe, that it is all temporary. And if I can make things work today, if I can sail my ship through this crisis, guess what? No storm is big enough to put me down. And I always say this, at the end of my workshops, and I sign this on my books, that you are the answer to your prayers. There is no other answer. While it's okay to go to the Almighty for hope, while it's okay to ring the bells, in the end, I am the solution. And therein is the divine, therein is God. That there is no challenge big enough. And I tell you, this pandemic has leveled us up to the point that people are the only source of hope and people are the only source of despair. Which end of the spectrum am I going to make the choice to be? Totally is in my hands. So don't lose hope. Keep the good work going. The good work does not stop with your title. It does not start with your appointment letter, and it does not end with your release letter. Productivity, contribution, and the good work must be a part and second nature of who you are. And if you can keep that going, I tell you, you are secured for the rest of your life. Thank you so much, Poonam Vijay Thakkar, for inviting me on this. I think this initiative is amazing. And if I can be of any help, of any use to add value to your purpose, I would consider myself privileged and honored. Please do stay in touch. This is Priya Kumar signing off.